Welcome to Youth to Glory, the new TEW save for TEW 9. So the rules for this save are quite simple, but I've given you a little graphic here to help you understand them. We start with the WWF in January 1992. Nobody we sign can be older than 30 years old. Nobody who's over 40 can win the world title, and nobody who's over 35 can win the IC or, in the future, US titles. Anyone over 40 must be moved into an out-of-the-ring position at their next contract, and the priority is pushing the youngest stars. And now that's all out of the way, I say we get straight into this. So come on, guys, let's go. It is 21st of January 1992, and it is the go-home show for the Royal Rumble. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are too. So, with Bobby the Brain and Gorilla hyping up the crowd, let's get straight into the pre-show. And our pre-show match for this week just sees Koko B. Ware pick up a victory over Bob Bradley with the Bird Buster in 7 minutes. And I'm going to point out something straight away here, which is that Bob Bradley outperformed Koko B. Ware. Now that is interesting. Maybe there's something in Bob Bradley. We might have to take a little bit of a deeper look and maybe see if he is a little bit too good to be in the jobber division. Gets a 44 rating. And the main show kicks off with just a variety of little promos. Don't think any of these guys are actually... Oh no, one of the Piper's on the show today, but none of the other guys are on the show tonight. So this is them essentially saying, I will win the Royal Rumble, and I will be the WWF World Heavyweight Champion. You get Piper, Flair, Bossman, Hogan, DiBiase, Sid, and The Undertaker. Actually, no, DiBiase's also on the show tonight. But an 81 rating, not bad. Everyone was pretty good with the improvising as well. And we kick off the show with a follow-up from last week's segment with Martel, as he takes on Eddie Gilbert to open the show. Goes 9 minutes, and Martel picks up the victory with the Boston Crab after the Beverly Brothers attacked Eddie Gilbert. No Doug Gilbert here today, but Eddie was, so he gets beaten up. And after this match, we get a little promo from the four guys, Martel, the Genius, and the Beverly Brothers, announcing they are the Superiors, the new faction to win all the titles in the WWF. Gets a 54 rating, as we've built our first heel faction of the save. It's a me save. Come on, it's a phantom save. There's gonna be factions. And this is our first. Jimmy Hart and the Nasty Boys are chatting backstage, as Jimmy Hart announces that the Nasty Boys will be the team of his that will challenge for the tag titles at the Royal Rumble. Not the Natural Disasters, they're both going to enter into the Royal Rumble. The Nasty Boys are going to be tag champions. Either Earthquake or Typhoon are going to win the world title, and the Mountie is going to win the IC title. And by the end of the Royal Rumble, every single title will be around the waist of the Hart family, the first family of WWF. We then get our second part of our home interviews. First part was last week. This time Gene Oakland is sat down with Jake Roberts. And Jake says, did things have to go this far, Mean Gene? Of course they did. Savage provoked this. Nothing which has happened has been anything other than Randy Savage's fault. And I know, Gene, you're going to try and defend Savage, because that's what you do. But I'm not talking to you now, I'm just talking directly to Randy himself. Since he was so cowardly to come and talk to me, he decided to attack me a couple of weeks ago. And now I'm stuck at home when I could be going for that world title at the Royal Rumble. You've taken that from me, Savage. There will be chaos and destruction on your home. And I agree to your waiver. I will sign your waiver. I have a lot of aggression built up which I need to take off of my chest. And you know what, Mean Gene? If that culminates in the end of Randy Savage's career, even then I don't think I'll be satisfied. But so be it. We then get a tag team action as the New Foundation, Owen and Jim, take on the Orient Express, Kato and Tanaka. And it's Owen who picks up the win with the missile dropkick in 7.5 minutes roughly. Kato was the weak link with a 43, but everyone else in the high 50s. Not too sad. Bad. Why did I say sad? Jesus Christ, my mouth doesn't want to work today. Animal and Hawk are backstage and they say, you know, we heard Jimmy's announcement. The Nasty Boys, bring it on. They're the team we beat to win these titles. You don't think we could beat them again? They will fall to the Doomsday Device. And 1, 2, 3, and still WWF World Tag Team Champions, the Legion of Doom. Shawn Michaels is in the ring as he takes on Mario Mancini. It's a quick win. Shouldn't be that long actually, don't know. But 8 minutes of him almost toying with Mancini until Sweet Chin Music, Teardrop Suplex, Sweet Chin Music again. 1, 2, 3. Gets a 60 rating. Shawn gets a 68. I'm pretty happy with that rating. And afterwards, Mike McGurk gets into the ring. And Shawn says, I'd like to introduce my new valet. You all know her. She is sensational Sherry Martel. And she is going to lead me to glory. And McGurk asks about what happened last week with Marty Jannetty. And Shawn goes, what happened last week was me taking out the trash. Marty was a coward and was holding me back. And in the moment where he thought, oh, I might still lessen myself to be with him, his response was to be a coward and run away from me through a window. Now that's not somebody I even want to be associated with, and he's gone now. I don't know when we'll see Marty again. He's not in the building this week. I doubt he'll be at the Royal Rumble. So this is it. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, is going to take this company by storm. Aren't I, Sherry? And they laugh together and walk off. 6-person tag team action here as Repo Man and Money Inc., Ted DiBiase and IRS, or as I call them, the $1 Million Corporation. You know, they're all about money, in a way. Take on the Jobber team of Brian Costello, Chris Walker and Kendall Williams. Goes quickly, quite quickly. Ted DiBiase taps out Chris Walker to the Cobra Clutch. It's just a way to get these guys on the card, honestly. And I actually think this as a trio has a lot of legs to it. And then we get the rundown for this weekend's card. The next episode. It's been announced by Jack Tunney that the Beverly Brothers will take on the Gilberts. For the Intercontinental Tag Team Championship, Bret the Hitman Hart will defend against the Mountie. For the Tag Team titles, the Legion of Doom, Animal and Hawk, will take on the Nasty Boys. And an unsanctioned match. The WWF holds no responsibility for what happens in this match. No disqualifications, no countouts, no liability. Randy Savage will take on Jake Roberts. And in your main event, the WWF Championship will be on the line in the Royal Rumble match itself. And the main event for this show, though, is a tag team match, which is Bret Hart and Conan El Barbaro take on Rowdy Roddy Piper and the Mountie. The Mountie submits Conan El Barbaro with the Quebec Crab. Bret Hart was miles above everyone else. Conan was the weak link, which makes sense. It's only his second appearance in the WWF, or in America in general, to be honest. But Bret and Conan have great chemistry, so I'm not going to moan about that. That's pretty fun. 73 for the main event. I think this is another disappointing show. And it is a 73. Not enough dramatic stakes in the storylines. It's pretty hard to do that, with TV the way it was in the early 90s. But either way, we lost pop in 11 regions. Again. We made some more money. We're still in a lot of debt, though. And everywhere in the US, we go down again. But that's not what mainly is important. Obviously, having the game actually recognise things is important. But what's more important is what you guys think. Because, if I just wanted the game to know them, I wouldn't be doing this as a YouTube series. This is for you guys to know the stories. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And you know what? I'll see you guys in the next episode, which will be the Royal Rumble itself. Goodbye!